Hi, my name is Grace Walcott, and I wanted to do a video on sex-positive parenting. What is sex-positive parenting? I'll tell you what it is not, and when people hear this, they sometimes jump to this. It is not about permissiveness. It is not about telling your teenager that, hey, go off and have a lot of sex. That's not what it's about. The sex positive movement is a movement that is talking about how sex is normal and it's a healthy part of normal life, and that teenagers biologically are going to start becoming interested in sex. Hormonally, that is what happens, and that is what is appropriate. And many people in the sex positive movement feel that it is really important to make sure that teenagers and this education, comprehensive sex education, has got to start earlier than being a teenager. That sex education is the thing that is so important and that protects kids. Knowledge is power. And that there isn't, and much research shows that the places that are really leading in sex education are the Netherlands, parts of Europe, not the United States. That has been too much money and energy put into the whole idea of only educating for abstinence. And abstinence is great, but if you don't give a kid information and have an open dialogue, that just isn't going to work. And research shows that when that is the main thrust of a sex education program, that there is actually more STDs and more teenage pregnancy. And especially now, with the internet being so pervasive in our children's and teenagers' lives, it is important to be the ones to educate them. Because sadly, a lot of young men are getting their education, their sex education, from pornography. And this is really sad, and you can see it in the culture. I'm thinking like Lena Dunham's HBO Girls, her series. There are so many bizarre, uncomfortable sex scenes because you can tell that the young men are getting their ideas of what pleases a woman from pornography. And pornography is not that. It is a woman being paid to act out a male fantasy more often than not. So when I talk about sex positive parenting, what I'm really talking about is taking back that conversation and having an open dialogue, an educational dialogue, and not a fear-based dialogue. This is the other thing that research is showing, that in the United States, our sex education is so based on fear. It's all about the negatives. It's all about don't get pregnant and don't get an STD. And it doesn't address the politics of pleasure and the enjoyment of sex and where a woman's clitoris is and what is a clitoris, and that masturbation is okay and actually can be a way to get to know yourself in a very safe way. And the other thing in terms of parenting is that if you're able to have a relaxed conversation, a candid, ongoing conversation, you are going to be able to help your kid in so many other areas that are connected to sexuality. Areas like body image, areas like healthy boundaries, what is a good relationship, areas that may prevent harassment. These, gender identity, all these things, if you want to have ongoing close relationship with your kid where you really know what's going on and they feel comfortable sharing with you what's going on. Somehow having an open dialogue in your own way, in your own style, and there are different ways of doing this. If it doesn't come easily to you, you can read a book about it together, separately, and then come together and talk about it. You can watch a movie that would address the subject together, or separately, and then come together and talk about it. If your intention is keeping this open and doing it in a non-shaming way, which is really the agenda of sex-positive parenting, then you'll be giving a huge gift to your kid, allowing them the space to make really good decisions. And I believe that most kids will make really smart decisions if they have the information and the support. If you want to read more about what I've written on this subject, you can go to my website, gracewalcott.com, GRACEWALCOTT.com. And I hope this was helpful, and I thank you for listening.